Hello everyone, Daryl Northern Vinyl Guy here with a video. Some of you may have noticed that I have been away. I haven't been posting any videos and stuff like that for a couple of weeks now. Unfortunately, I was hospitalized for 7 to 8 days. There was just some things going on. I wasn't feeling well. And I was in Kingston, Ontario at the hospital. But with that, I am in a full bill of health. I am back to normal and in good shape, and I will be returning to my place of employment on Friday. Make a long story short, they had to do an angio, do some tests on my heart, of which all of it came back good. And in fact, the doctor on the day of the angio said that it was the best heart that he'd seen on that particular day. So just wanted to give you all a heads up why I've been away for the last little bit and why I haven't been posting videos or making comments, if you have noticed that. So yeah, so the main thing is I am in good health, and I am back in the VC, and I will be posting some videos hopefully in the coming future. But with that, when I was down in Kingston, and unfortunately I had to figure out my own way back to my community and things like that. It wasn't the easiest trip in the world, but on my way back I did get to hit up some record shops, and so I would like to just show in this video some of the records that I picked up while I was out. And for the most part, most of these were from, value bins and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my journey back, I guess, from Kingston and go from there. So I have a couple roommates, old roommates from my university days. I hadn't seen them in quite some time. They came and visited me in the hospital, and the first one lives in Kingston. And so we went to a place called Brian's Record Option, and I got some good deals on these these records. And so my two old roommates, they did drive me around and get to bring me to a couple of these record shops there. And then on the way back, I went to Ottawa and Timmins and places like that. And we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so at Brian's Record Option, I did pick up a pretty nice copy of Till Tuesdays. What's the name of this? Voices Carry. Of course, they're, a kind of a new wave-ish pop band from the 1980s. But yes, Till Tuesday, and their big hit was Voices Carry, which is the final track, I believe it is, on side 1. So nice clean copy, Brian's Record Option. All right, the second record that I picked up, and this one I picked up for $10, which, I was surprised. I mean, the condition of the sleeve and everything's a little, ring worn and all that stuff. But I did not yet have U2's Rattle and Hum, 2 vinyl set here. As you can see the ring wear on it right down here and kind of around. That's on both sides. But the vinyl itself, it's got some scuffs and whatnot, but for $10, I couldn't pass this one up. Of course, this has, some live tracks and things like that. But All I Want Is You is the big song, and Desire that I really wanted from this. So I was looking for the Achtung Baby, but they did not have it, and all the record shops that I was at did not have it as well. So one of these days I'm going to get the Achtung Baby. All right, as many of you know, it took me a little while to come around to Madonna, but I am now trying to pick up a lot of Madonna stuff. And once again, I got a really good deal, clean copy of the Like a Prayer album. This one has Like a Prayer, Express Yourself, and Cherish on it. So that was a steal right there. I am pretty much done my Gino Vanelli, Canadian musician from province of Quebec. This one here is the Nightwalker album, which I did not yet have. And this other one, Big Dreamers Never Sleep. This is a replacement copy. I bought this album a couple years back on Discogs. When it came in the mail, it was just beat to crap and completely warped, so I had to get rid of it. And it's the one that actually has my favorite song on it, which is, where is it? right here. It's the third song on side one, which is Wild Horses. Love Gino Vannelli. This, like I said, of the vinyl records that he has, or the albums that he has on vinyl, I believe I have all of them now. There might be one that I'm missing, but I have all of his stuff from the early 70s all the way through to the mid to late 80s. All right, now, I was not able to get any Ultravox. However, I did get a nice copy of Major, and this is the one that has If I Was on it. This is The Gift, and his one-hit wonder song as a solo artist, If I Was, which is a fantastic song. So if you like Ultravox and bands of that nature, you would like Major. Great stuff right there. All right. And then I was able, speaking of one-hit wonders, I don't know what it is. I thought that this cover was hilarious. It was just kind of sitting there. And not for a bad price, but, you know, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. Tim Buck 3. Clean copy. The sleeve is a little bit warpy. Not water damaged, but kind of just that fluttering feel, but nice and smooth there. And last but not least, this was the last one that I picked up, and I've been wanting this one. This is Mike and the Mechanics, Living Years. I've mentioned that the Living Years is kind of a tough song for me to listen to, just based on the lyrics and stuff like that. I've noted this, many times. My dad was a big music buff and got me into that, and so that particular song brings back memories of my dad. But I've always wanted to get a copy of this particular album. One thing that I did not mention, I forgot to mention this actually when I was talking about the Madonna album. I inputted these all into my Discogs, and I didn't realize it that that this album was actually made with kind of like a floral smell to it. There were 3 Canadian versions, I believe it was, of the Like a Prayer album that were made. And I so happened to get, I was like, when I took the record out of the sleeve, it kind of had like this floral smell. This one was actually pressed, and they actually included a floral smell with it back in the day. And I can smell it. It's I don't know. It's very unique. Almost don't want to wash it or clean it because I don't want the smell to go away. But I've never had a record that actually has a floral smell to it. So very interesting. And then when I inputted it in Discogs, the copy that I have, as part of one of the liner notes that's on there, says that it has that patchouli smell to it. All right, so Brian's record option, those were the ones that I picked up while I was there and got some good deals on it. I mean, I didn't pay anything more than $5 or $10 for those albums, and so that's great. All right, and then my other roommate former roommate lives in Ottawa, and he brought me to a record shop in Canada called Legends, and I bought 4 records while I was in Canada. 2 of them I paid, I think, $10 for, and then the other 2 were from a discount bargain bin. Unfortunately, we were strapped for time. I didn't realize that there was a 3 for $10 bin, and when I looked over after I had paid, there was some records that were in the bin that I would have purchased, but it doesn't matter. It was a fun time, got to hang out. And these are the 4 that I picked up while I was there. So the first one, this one's a great album, Chris Rea, and The Road to Hell. This includes parts 1 and 2 on it. Very cool rainbow backside cover going into what appears to be hell. So Chris Rea's Road to Hell. Speaking of a Madonna kick, had to go and get the Who's That Girl soundtrack. Probably the only really known song that is on this, but of course Madonna stars in that movie. Who's That Girl, the original motion picture right there. I did see a copy of the Dick Tracy one, but I didn't really want to grab that one. Maybe on another day. And then the last 2 that I got here, speaking of being a completionist, there is a Canadian contemporary soft rock musician or soft pop musician. I've always liked Dan Hill, and I'm almost a completionist here too. There's a couple more albums of his from the late 80s that I don't have, but I pretty much have all his 70s and early 80s stuff. And this one here is the Hold On album. Not any big hits off of it. But once again, as a completionist of this particular musician, I couldn't go wrong for $2 on that one. And then the last one, this one here is for you, Rob, at Northern Revolutions. But for $2, I managed to pick up this Planet Waves album, which is, Bob Dylan, but featuring the band, Robbie Robertson, Rick Danko, Levon Helm, Garth Hudson, Richard Manuel, all on an album there. So I thought that was cool. Once again, $2. It is the actual vinyl itself are near mint. The sleeve's a little bit damaged, but for $2 I couldn't pass that one. So Bob Dylan featuring the band. All right, from Ottawa, I was brought to the airport, and then I had to fly Toronto to Timmins. And while I was in Timmins, I hit up a couple of thrift shops there. The first one I went to is a place called Jan's Closet. Not much was in there, kind of like records that you would find like at a Value Village and stuff like that, but I did buy one. I am into that 1920s and 30s. I don't want to call it soundtracks or anything like that, but we'll call it like more like operatic and things like that, but these kind of box sets. And I did pick up a nice copy of Scott Joplin's Treemonisha. This was a 1976 copy, German pressing on gramophone. 2 LP set, but it goes over, but it has a really nice inside, really nice book. At least I think, and it's got the original score lines in there. It's got the lyrics in there. It's got some information about the musician himself. It's got some just different weird pictures and stuff in it. But a really nice production for 1976. Of course, from the actual opera and play itself. Just very neat copy of Treemonisha, I thought. Anyway. And once again, I paid, I think, $2 or $4 for that. Couldn't go wrong with that. It's $2 a record. The second to last place that I went to is, I always go to this place, not usually for records, but I did buy some records at this place, a place called Altered Reality in Timmins, Ontario. More known for selling books, used books, and used, NES games and Wii games, things like that. Sorry, apologize for that. But he did have some bins of records there. None of these went for more than $10 a piece. Some of them were $4 or less, just based on condition. It was almost like somebody was trying to give away some of their Gordon Lightfoot collection, but I went with 3 different Gordon Lightfoot records, The Way I Feel. This one has Canadian Railroad Trilogy on it. If you haven't heard that one, check it out. It's an amazing song. And of course, Gordon Lightfoot right there. Back Here on Earth. This one here has If I Could and The Gypsy. These are all great songs by Gordon Lightfoot. If I Could. And then the last one that I got was Did She Mention My Name? Gordon Lightfoot. And this one is the one that has Black Day in July, which is one of my favorite Gordon Lightfoot songs. So great track there. So Did She Mention My Name? Those were all like $3 or something like that. Then I got a nice copy of the Strawbs Deep Cuts. So kind of like more, I think it's more of like a greatest hits type album here. But the Strawbs looks really good. Adamant, Friend or Foe. This is the one that has Goody Two Shoes on it, which is the album that, for whatever reason, I seem to know the most. I'm not huge into Adam and the Ants, but Goody Two Shoes is a classic. So we'll go with that, Friend or Foe. And then the last album that I got from this is some new wave here, 1980. We got the Monks and Bad Habits. It's more of a blind buy for me, but I am familiar to a degree with the Monks. And so those I got at the Altered Reality store in Timmins. And then one last album. I did go to Indigo Cole's bookstore at the Timmins Mall. And while I was there, this is the one I paid the most for because it is a brand new 2024 copy. But it is the Linkin Park Paper Cuts album. So I did have a chance to go into the mall. And this has everything, including One More Light on it, which was one of the last main hits that the band released before Chester passed away. But it has, Crawling, Faint, Numb. It's got Lost. It's got One Step Closer. In the End, Bleed It Out, you name it, it's all on here. And yeah, so that was my journey back after being in the hospital for, I think it was 7 or 8 days. And then, of course, I had to make the trek back up to where I live. But if you were wondering where I've been and all that kind of stuff, I've been away for a few weeks just because I had some a bit of a health scare, but it's all come back clean now. And so if you have stuck around with my channel, I appreciate you supporting me. And for those of you that did subscribe to my channel while I was out, I noticed that I did get some new subscribers. I do appreciate that. And if you are new to watching my channel today, as of this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up, like, and do leave me some comments in the section below. Let me know what you thought of these records that I picked up. And yes, I was able to get them all back on an airplane. Didn't affect the weight distribution for that. So great scores, or at least I think so, on most of them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, like I said, I should have some more videos going up later this week. Some threads I want to catch up on, and some videos of my own that I want to do. So without further ado, have a good one, and we will see you on the next one.